Hello, good day. Once again, our dear friends in the Philippines, the Carmelite seculars. Today, we will continue with our series of video talks, short ones, about the declaration of the Teresian Charism. We are now at number 17, and the title for number 17 is Divine Initiative. And I would put it in the parenthesis, experience of God. Let me read first to all of you the text of our declaration. Quote, "The central element of the Teresian experience is relationship with God. It is first and foremost a relationship that God desires to establish with each one of us, making us sharers in Trinitarian life and relationships. For Teresian John, the first and decisive step in the development of a relationship with God is to become aware, in Canticle B11, also in the Way of Perfection, of who the revealed God is, of His presence, and of His working within us. This is not a matter of knowing on an intellectual level, but of an experiential knowledge that transforms our way of being in the world." End quote. So, in one way or the other, we all have experienced probably being sad or discouraged or distressed about something or with someone. When we are going through something tragic or disappointing, we feel so down that we do not want to live anymore. Surprisingly, if we go to the data, some information we can find online, the highest countries with the highest number of suicides every year in every 100,000 people or persons are the following: Lesotho, located in South Africa, with 74 people per 100,000. South Korea with 28. The US with 16. That's 16 person per 100,000. Japan with 15. Vietnam with 8. And the Philippines 2. Of course, there are other elements, or context as to why these countries have different figures of suicides. Now, one reason they discover is the mental configuration of the people, meaning the belief or the faith. The lowest societal rates are those countries whose people believe in something. To believe in something generates hope to live for another day and for the future. This belief in something or someone could escalate to a powerful experience of God. For us Christians, obviously, our faith teaches us to believe in a Trinitarian God, in the person of Jesus, who incarnate, who reaches out and lives with us. God initiates. God always looks for opportunities to enter into our lives. Like someone who is in love, he is constantly looking for opportunities to be with us. If you look at the history of salvation, and that is what God did or is doing. God up in the heaven, sending messengers and prophets initially, but eventually decided to become man so that He can personally be with us. He can experience being with us. He makes the decisive step to reach out to all of us. And not only that, He did not abandon the world. He did not abandon us. He sustains us through the Spirit until the end of time, so that we will not fall into the cycle of discouragement and disappointment. We have to be very aware that God is working so hard and that God is very much present in our life. Now, we just have to be a little conscious around us. God is present in our life. In fact, He is doing everything because He wants you to experience the divine life by giving you the grace. He sustains and strengthens us with His love through the Holy Spirit. Now, the process of being aware or knowing that God is present is what we call the knowledge of God. Yes, it's true, all the studies of theology, for the seminarians, or the spirituality, or the readings, information, will indeed help us to know about God, but they are not sufficient. Because it is possible that a person or someone graduates in theology in a university but does not know about God. It is possible that you have formation, like many of us, like many of those who entered in an association or in any religious group, but may not have a deeper knowledge about God. Let me read what Santa Teresa says. She said, "Now it seems to me that those whom God brings to a certain clear knowledge love very differently than do those who have not reached it. This clear knowledge is about the nature of the world, that there is another world, about the difference between the one and the other. The one is eternal and the other a dream, or about the nature of loving the Creator and loving the creature, parenthesis, and this seen through experience which is entirely different from merely thinking about it or believing it." We find this in the Way of Perfection, chapter 6, 3. My dear friends, to sustain a relationship, you have to know the person. Lovers get married with a minimum knowledge of themselves. I do not think that those who get married really know fully well each other. But as they continue to live as husband and wife, they get to know more about each other. Thus, hopefully, it will bring them to love each other more. Now, experiencing God is a rich and powerful source of knowing God, of the knowledge of God. It is not really a matter of knowing on an intellectual level, but of an experiential knowledge that transforms our way of being in the world. When you have experienced God, you would say, whatever it takes, however people would say about me, I know I already have experience of God. This is one of the basic requirements for many of the vocation directors and directresses. When an aspirant enters, the first question will be, what is your experience of God? Yes, there are some low moments in life, probably all of us experience this, and this is normal. It could happen to all of us. But maybe those low moments are opportunities of a powerful experience of God. The knowledge of God most of the time is not exclusively limited to formal studies and formation in the community, because, as I was saying, it is possible that someone has a mature knowledge of God even if he or she does not yet have that formal formation. Even if someone is not yet a Carmelite, In fact, from experience, information, for example, and I have witnessed it that some members in the order at the beginning of the formation already have a mature outlook in life. Why? Because of their powerful experience of God. There is no substitute in knowing God when you already have a very powerful experience of Him. The powerful experience of God is not something that we create. We can only dispose ourselves to get to know God. It is God Himself who makes the divine initiative.